Hey, this is Dan here from Rune Silk, and I'm joined by one other, and that's none other than Damo for show. And this is the BeardMail podcast. So sit back, listen, and enjoy.
It's BeardMail podcast. Hello, Daniel-san.
We've got beards. We're males. It's the BeardMail podcast today.
BeardMail podcast. Say the hook, Dan. Say the hook. What is the episode about? Get the hook in quick. Get it in early. Get people excited. What is today's podcast all about?
So we are talking all about beard competitions. Not any beard competition in general, but the Opies Beard and Mustache Championships.
Boom!
So this will go live a couple of weeks after the show took place, but it was a good event. We are going to talk about it. We've talked about beard comps before. We've mentioned the Opies Beard Championships, and we are now going to talk about our experience at that competition.
This is the post-event rundown, and we're going to talk about beard comps in general. But it's not just me and Dan chatting. We've got a very special guest, and I think, without further ado, we should just get him in. Just get him in. What do you reckon?
Yeah, bring him in. We
have got none other than Jamie Cox for show.
Evening, guys.
Good welcome, Jamie Cox of Opies Beard Co. How are you, mate?
I'm all right, thank you. Not too bad. Yourselves?
Don't lie. Tell everybody you're on a massive downer because the competition is finished and you're like...
Oh, mate, I was for a bit. So the first couple of days after it, I was so busy because I had to put all the stock back away and count it all and then work out raffle money and all that stuff. So I was really busy. And the socials went nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Crazy.
Literally every 15 minutes I was getting like 30, 35 notifications. It was crazy. And hadn't even released like any photos or anything by that time. But then about, I think it was, what day was it? Tuesday. I was just that was it, man. I was just down in the dumps big time because you usually get the blues after an event anyway. But when you put one on, there's so much like going. I've just been planning it for about a year, something like that. So it's just a lot of downers, just because it's like planning a wedding in a way. And although you get the thing after a wedding of being married and getting all that other stuff, all the good stuff.
All the bad
Damo
stuff.
knows what I'm talking about.
You've got like a wife, and it's like, oh god, this was shit. The day was great, and now I'm stuck with a fucking wife.
But after a beard comp, you don't none of that.
So let's go backwards. Let's go backwards a little bit and put it into perspective for people that don't know. So, this was Jamie's first competition, Opies competition. It was held in Reading. It was at a brewery. It was a beard competition with 6 or so categories with beer and food. Loads of people got together. It was a lovely sunny day, and that was all what happened about. Not even a week ago, was it? So we're talking about this now afterwards. But there's so much to talk about because it was a good, 11 old hours or something. And Dan was there in his BeardMail capacity, and we can talk about those BeardMail t-shirts you threw out, Dan. Jamie was there comparing all day, I was there running about trying to say hello to everybody. It was such a busy day, but brilliant day. And really, I think for a lot of people, there's a lot of people, it was their first ever competition. And there was a lot of people that haven't been to a competition for a long time because we had a bit of COVID. And we have had 2 competitions since COVID, but the Devon one was quite small, and Beard On was up north. This was one where it was like the sun was shining, the venue was big, and loads of people went. So that's me done enough talking and reminiscing. What did you think about it, Dan?
Well, I did my best to support the brewery as well. I think I was drunk about 5 times that day. I think that's actually the record for me for most amount of times being drunk in one day, because I kind of got pissed, sobered up, drunk, got pissed again, probably sobered up a little bit. I actually don't think any sobering happened. I just think I just got to live different levels of drunk and sort of stayed there. I absolutely loved it. I think I had a great time. It was nice to see some people that I'd not met before. Like we met some people at Beard On, and in fact that's where I first met Jamie in person. We've known each other for a while, but first time you and I had actually met in person. And I think that it's a really nice part of the bearding calendar. And I know there seems to be a lot more chatter now as well that we need more of these things, we need more gatherings and more more. Everyone wants more, and I think that it just goes to show how important these events are, not just to bearding communities, right? So I mean, I was listening to your Berkshire interview on the radio. It's for families, for the kids, it's for the women and the kids competition. Tell us a bit about that as well. It's for the kids and the women in them.
Yeah, so we had obviously the ladies creative and the kids creative. So the idea we had going into the setting up the comp is that we wanted to make it. We didn't just want a ton of dudes there. We wanted some ladies there, and we wanted people to be able to bring their kids, because I know I struggle to get childcare, and I would hate to miss an event because it's not for kids. So we decided kids were going to go free, and they could compete for free, and the ladies, it was £5 to spectate, or if they wanted to spend £5, they could also participate instead of spectate. So it was the same money. So there was a massive thing there for them to actually be able to compete. But that's what it's all about. It's just getting about the whole, like you say, the whole community together to compete. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, I take my hat off absolutely for the first one. There's always that worry, isn't there, when you put your first event on, or you go to a first event, you'll be like, oh God, this could either go literally one or two ways. I mean, you were not only blessed with the turnout, you were blessed with the weather. You're blessed with just everything just went your way, right? Because I know when I spoke to you before, I think your car had some issues with your car, and some bad stuff was happening, and it was just, oh God, please let this event be good. And I think that everything kind of went. You couldn't have asked for a better show, really, could you? I mean.
No, I think so. The only big worry for us was the weather.
Yeah.
Because the event, for those that don't know, the event is basically all outside. There's like a small area that's undercover. The stage is undercover, but there's a huge area that isn't. So if it had rained, we would have been looking at a completely different day. But that's why we had it in May, because we thought, well, if you're going to hedge your bets, then that's your best sort of date to have it. That's out of the summer holidays. But yeah, I mean, in terms of everything else, we had a lot of little things and some semi-big things that went wrong, but that it's kind of to be expected. But the day itself, I mean, I couldn't have asked for anything better, especially like numbers-wise. I didn't think we'd pull in that many beardsmen. I mean, realistically, there was probably, I could probably name 10 beardsmen that weren't there. That's it.
What was the numbers, Jamie? How many people were there in the end?
So we counted, I think it was 200 something tickets sold.
Nice.
And then we had about 82 walk-ins to spectate or anything like that. A couple of upgrades, so they upgraded from spectator to competing on the day. But it was, we said this to the brewery, it's going to be difficult because some people are only going to turn up for a drink and then go because they're going to be there for the beer festival, and others are going to be there for the beards, so they're going to be there all day.
They're going to be there for 11 hours and smash all the beer.
Yeah, so what we're going to get is we're going to get people that are leaving after the beard comp, and then people that are turning up after the beard comp because they want to have beers and enjoy the music and stuff like that. So yeah,
I want to ask each of us actually what was like your best moment, and yours is just having that conversation there just reminded me of what mine was. So I'm going to go first. I think that one of the best things, I mean, picking up a trophy was obviously amazing, but one of the best things I found about this,
we weren't going to talk about that, Damo. Sorry, just jump in. We weren't talking about trophies because
I'm going to mention loads.
I was going to say that although it seemed like it was seamless, Jamie, there was one massive error.
Hang on, let's do the good. Let's do the good before we do the bad one. So,
where's my wooden spoon? I'm still waiting for my wooden spoon.
One of the things that I thought was brilliant about the competition was that it was just in a brewery tucked down a little country lane where I imagine people just regularly, every Saturday they just go out for a drink down to the brewery. That's what they do, right? That's their normal thing on a Saturday night. And then the amount of people that sort of walked into the brewery and looked around and went, what the fuck is going on here? Because we probably take it for granted, but the beard community, there are loads of weird looking, awesome, eccentric, beautiful characters and individuals and weirdos. They're like, we're all there. And if you're not in the community, you probably don't appreciate that or recognize it. So these guys that are just going for a drink down the local brewery are met with just a barrage of like phenomenal beards and weird people. that was the highlight for me, that normal people just went in there and like, whoa, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, I think they probably get about halfway through their beer, don't they? And then see Brendan, the bearded unicorn, and then start checking the strength of the beer. Like, what is going on here?
I tell you what, a few of them walked in and they laid eyes on John Connor straight away in his beautiful French lady can outfit, and they just beeline for him and like, I want to buy you a drink. So I mean, I don't know what sort of brewery they got going down there, but John was a massive hit in his can outfit, and it's a good job Liam got rid of his blonde wig quick, because else he'd have been in trouble as well.
I think the only way we could have twisted more melons would have been if we had, with all these beards, if you had the music going, some like Viking music in the background. They were watching, going, oh God, again, there's some pillaging going on here today.
So that was one of the highlights for me. Dan, what was a really good bit for you, mate?
So I think for me, it was discovering that although I didn't win a trophy, I definitely won Best in Show.
What?
So the guy who won the treble.
I see. Yeah, I see.
So the guy who won the treble is a customer of mine. So I went with the whole purpose to go to your competition was not to talk about Rune Silk. That was the whole point. I didn't have a Rune Silk t-shirt on. I didn't wear Rune Silk cap. It was respect your day. It was only when you asked me, when you said this is, you have a company as well, don't you? I wasn't even going to mention that on the stage because I thought it's Jamie's show, let's talk about Rune Silk.
I made sure to, because it's nice that you guys turned up. You guys, obviously, we had quite a few brands there, didn't we, in the end? But I thought it'd be nice to be able to mention everybody, even if it was in passing, just because it shows that level of respect that, do you know what, I'm not fussed. I don't mind about, like I said on stage, we're not competition or rivals or anything like that. We're just two companies. We're just two companies, So I'm more than happy to give a shout out to everybody.
What was brilliant though, Jamie, is that nobody else in the room knew, apart from me, that Dan's sole purpose was to not mention Rune Silk, right? So
he was laughing.
I'm sat there and like, right, Dan, make sure you plug BeardMail, give out the BeardMail t-shirts, mention BeardMail, talk about BeardMail, big up the BeardMail. And that was the plan. And then he walked up to the stage and you're, and you own a brand called Rune Silk.
Did he have a drink? Did he have a, was it one of those things where if he said Rune Silk, he had to take a shot?
Yeah, probably why I was so battered. No, but so even when I was talking to Simeon or Tom, I gave him a BeardMail sticker and he said, I got one of these in an order. And I was like, oh, cool. Who is it? He said, I have Rune Silk. Not sure if you've heard of him. And I was like,
that was a brilliant moment. I was stood next to him, and it was just so brilliant that this guy, the guy who won the treble, and at this stage he hadn't won yet, but he's got for those you didn't see, he's got phenomenal massive beard, massive curly tash. Dan is just pissed, and he's just talking to him about BeardMail, and this guy who nobody knows because he was brand new to the scene and the competition, is chatting with Dan, and then he says, "Oh, I use Rune Silk. Have you heard of him?" And Dan's face was like.
Yeah, so I think for me, I think that was probably my highlight. But business aside, I think for me it was my best thing was meeting people that I hadn't met yet, like the guys that I'd met at Beard On who weren't at Beard On. So a lot of the Beard Mob guys who weren't at Beard On. So like Ryan Swainapole, for example. I don't actually know. My missus corrected me.
Swainapole.
For me. Swainapole, but that was my missus actually said because she's South African, so she did correct me, which I think it's like Swainapole or something. Anyway, I'd spoken to him loads, commented on posts, photos, spoken just via comments really, and then meeting these people, and I think it's crazy, even meeting, for example, meeting Ollie from Wild Hair. I've spoken to him loads on Instagram and on Facebook. It was weird seeing them. It was almost like you. It wasn't, sorry, I trained my words out. It was like we hadn't actually not met. I don't know if that even makes sense in a sentence, but do you know what I mean? It's like, it wasn't like we hadn't met before because we'd spoken for so many years that when you see them, the conversation just flowed. It was comfortable.
You wonder if you're being catfished,
Yeah, exactly that. And I think for me, that was probably I think that's the best thing for me for all comps, really. It's just meeting people that you spent so long getting to know and actually seeing them in real life.
And it not being too much of a letdown.
Well, it was a letdown. I didn't win anything.
No, I mean, when you see people, it's like they genuinely are like they are.
Yeah, they're really nice people.
Everyone's very true. So Jamie, what was a highlight for you? Because I know from your perspective, you're working. Everyone else is that was boozing, but you were busy working, and I'm sure your mindset was slightly different. But what was some of the best moments for you?
I had a lot of good moments from the day. Like Dan said, just echoing the meeting the new people and meeting all the people that I hadn't seen since before lockdown, because it's been a long time. So it was meeting all those people. But the highlights for me was definitely the biggest highlight was just how raucous that audience were. I know I was pumping it and giving it the way, and all that sort of stuff. But it was just the audience were absolutely fantastic. Mm-hmm. Absolutely brilliant. And honestly, that's the one worry when you're up on stage and you've got to do all day long. You're thinking, man, if the crowd start turning on me, or they think I'm a bit of a they're not going to really receive me very well all day long. So I was absolutely chuffed with how the crowd were. They were so good. But it was just getting everyone on stage, and there was just a few standouts. Like the creative beards were fantastic. And the new people as well. I think we had like 3 or 4 new people pick up a trophy. It was amazing. It was amazing. Just rocked up. Never done a beard comp in their life before, and they just rock up and go on the stage with that tremendous beard. Amazing.
It's quite a skill and an art, especially at a beard competition as well, to do the comparing. So you did a great job, because I've done it as well in rugby years ago, and you have to be very careful to not just next person, what's your name, where you from, what's your name, where you from, what's your name, where you from, because if there's 100 competitors, it gets boring. So it's actually quite an art to do it, and you did a great job. I mean, obviously the first time doing your comparing, but how did you enjoy that aspect of it?
I liked it. So it took me literally about 4 days to write notes. I think I had 15 pages of notes because I wanted to say something before each category to either promote another beard competition, so Oxford or Beard On or anything like that. Talk about the charity a bit more, the raffle tickets. So I had a subject that I wanted to talk about, but I read a little bit off of it, and then it basically got put down. So I did forget a lot of stuff. I did forget a lot of stuff, but I had thought, like you were saying about being boring. I was aware of that. So for weeks and weeks beforehand, I was thinking, right, what are some things I can say? I know I can have fun talking to the kids, because kids are great, and then it turned out it was like, so what's your name, and what do you think of your chances? Just nothing. I was oh no, it's gone the other way. So I was but yeah, you've just got to have fun, and if you're not funny, sometimes you're not funny, but I know sometimes I can make people laugh. So that's all I didn't want it to be serious. I definitely didn't want an event where it was like serious. So
I tell you what I really liked was your little preemption of Mick Wallage coming up on stage, and just generally saying to everybody about how there's no swear words allowed.
Do you know what though? I didn't even mean to do that. I thought that was. I meant. Well, obviously, I meant to say it because it came out of my mouth, but it was because somebody had swore just before in the category before, and so I was telling everyone. And then I sort of heard some murmurs from the crowd, and I look, and there's Mick Wallage stood there like he's talking to me.
It was so good. I thought it was pretty planned, and his riposte to it was brilliant. Him saying the C word, being charity. I just thought that was brilliant. I thought it was pretty
So one thing I did miss, which I'm still kicking myself about. So as you know, at Beard On, I accepted a plaque for the Darren Jones Memorial to give to Blake. I've still got it. I haven't given it to Blake yet. So I said to Mick, I said, I'll bring it to the comp. You can come on stage and give it to him. It'll work out brilliant. And I said, okay. He said, when are you on? I said, well, you're on just before the kids. I thought that's probably a big mistake on my part, isn't it? So I was going to make a joke about it then, but then I ended up forgetting the trophy, and then I ended up forgetting the whole thing. And Mick came up to me at one point. He was like, when are we doing this thing then? And I said,
oh no,
I've forgotten it, mate. I'm so sorry. And the worst thing is, I've also forgotten the trophy. So, but he didn't call me the word that he used. So I think I got away all right, I suppose.
Well, you heard it here first on the BeardMail podcast. Here's us thinking it was a brilliant show and it all went seamlessly, and it turns out there was loads of boobs all on the way.
Right, yeah.
But I think that's to be expected, isn't it? I mean, you can plan as much as you like, but like you said, 15 pages worth of notes, eventually there was going to bin. But I think the preparation probably helped your confidence, right? So it kind of gave you a bit of, okay, I know what I'm kind of doing. The rest of it can be a bit improv.
So when I say notes, what I like to do is, everyone's different, of course, but what I like to do is I like to have bullet points. So that I know I do this for YouTube, I do this for all my filming. So I have bullet points on what I need to talk about, but I don't write down what I'm going to say, because otherwise I turn into a robot that's just reading off of a script, and I can't do that. Some people can, I can't. So I just write bullet points down so I know what I've got to talk about, because once I know what I'm talking about, I could talk the back legs of a donkey. So that was 15 pages, so it's like a pretty meaty document. But I did miss a couple of things, but I thought it was more natural doing it the way I did. So, and it seemed to work out, I guess.
Yeah, it was all good. It was good. I think it was really good. I mean, I didn't spot any time. I think there was a couple of times where I thought, oh, bless you, he's looking a bit nervous, but then the rest of the times you weren't. I think at the beginning, I think you could kind of just see slightly, but it's the start, right? Your heart's probably going boom, boom, boom.
I read off my notes of the first bit because that was a serious bit. It was like, okay, I'm going to introduce the event. And I'm going to introduce the charity. That's all serious. That's why I got the other dude, Luke, at the brewery to do all the charity reading. Because I'm like, man, I've done that for Blake at Beard On. And I hate reading to people because, like I said, I come out like a robot. So I hate doing that. So I said to Luke at the brewery, I said, look, do you mind doing that bit as I'm going to be on stage all day long? He said, that's fine. So it worked out all right. But yeah, the first bit I read off script, which is probably why I was nervous, why I came across nervous, because I hate reading to people. So
we'll put you through your paces now then, Jamie, because the big C word, it was a charity, and actually we haven't really mentioned it. So off the top of your head, do you want to do a little bit and just mention who the charity was? And I'm guessing you probably won't know how much you've raised yet, but
I do know how much we've raised. Actually, it came around through late last night, so I will be announcing it in a minute. Actually, I haven't announced it on the socials yet, so it will be exclusive. It'll be exclusive to you guys, but when it comes out, it's not going to be exclusive at all because it will live it out.
Yeah.
Well, me and Dan heard it here first.
Yeah, that's it. So the charity was Daisy's Dream, and they're a local Reading charity, and they basically help children that have lost their parents or people close to them, or they've had people that have had life-threatening illnesses, life-changing illnesses. So they basically go and give mental health support to the kids so that they don't grow up with this massive sort of burden on them, or this massive sort of, this massive weight hanging down on them, which effectively, if they bring into adulthood, it's not going to get smaller, it's going to get bigger and bigger. So that's in a nutshell what they do. They probably describe it better than me, but that's what they do. So we ran a raffle on the day, and that was another thing I was blown away, actually. You asked me about things of the day. I was absolutely blown away by the amount of people we had turn up that were giving stuff for the raffle. So Blake gave a massive hamper from Whittaker's. He also gave a massive bottle of whiskey out of his own stock. And we had
he probably brought 3 bottles with him though, 2 for him and 1 for the raffle.
Probably, but I was contacted by another company called Brio in America, and they'd done like a trimmer for your head and beard, and they said, "Do you want me to send you that for the raffle?" It was like $100. I said, "Yeah, sure." Pinged it across. It was like here in 3 days, so really chuffed with that. And I've probably forgot a ton of other people, but I've got two I could mention. There was actually 2 months free membership for Damo's Beardy Fun Club was in the raffle. That's it. Yeah,
I have no idea.
Who got them?
I have no idea. They haven't got in touch with me yet. So
it's the worst bit about a raffle. It's the worst bit about a raffle. You don't know who got what. Yeah.
But I don't know how to go and find out. I thought, where can I post to say who's got it? But also, I managed to acquire a signed picture of the geezer. Who is it? The Opies guy out of Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, Ryan Hurst.
Yeah, I got a signed picture of Ryan Hurst that I tried to bribe the judges with, but they put it in the raffle. Yeah. So, I'll take the credit for that going in the raffle as well. Someone else had that.
Yeah, I know. Got that. Ryan Purcell had that. The Ginger Villain had that.
Yeah,
because I said to him, what I did was I tucked it under something, and I said, "There you go. If that's left, I'm having that." And he knew where I tucked it, the cheeky son of a... So he went and got it. And then he came up to me with a big Cheshire cat grin. He went, "Look what I got."
Yeah,
He's going to
there
be
was some really
bribing
good
me at some
prizes.
point. There was a mountain.
There was a full table. I mean, there was one point where I was speaking to your wife, and I was like, where do I put this? Because I brought over first. I think I dropped off a cap, and then pulled a t-shirt out and a tote bag with the BeardMail tote bags, and I kept saying, where should I put it? She's like, I don't know. So just put it on the table somewhere. It was like piling all these prizes.
So we bought a 4-foot table to put all the raffle stuff on, and then realised within about 30 seconds that wasn't big enough. So we went and got a 6-foot table. And then realised that wasn't big enough, and then realised that's the biggest they got. So it was like 6-foot table, and then there was a bunch of stuff under it that I said to the wife, when you're doing it, you're going to need to start like replenishing this table, so that everyone who comes up near the end has still got like awesome stuff to pick out of. But it was amazing.
Quick, before you tell us how much you made on the raffle and on the day, I'd like to do a quick shout out actually. Who I thought was great when he picked up the microphone was Matt Wall. So he obviously did the raffle as well, but he did his head judge bit throughout the day, and I thought he was brilliant on the mic. And I know he'd done some behind the scenes stuff filming for his YouTube and that, but yeah, I thought he was really great on the mic. So a big shout out to Matt Wall.
Yeah, he was brilliant. He did make me laugh though, because just before I gave him the mic, I said to everybody, right, this is how the raffle's going to go. I said, I'm going to draw a number out, and then we'll give you the colour of the ticket and the number, and if you've got it, give us a big shout, and then go get your prize. And then I give the thing to Matt Ward. He's picked their ticket out, and he goes, 267. And we're like, what colour is it? Oh, Matt. But no, he was brilliant. Matt's great at everything. Matt's brilliant at everything. He's so good, and he even done his freestyle beard for the event, even though he wasn't competing, which I was super impressed with. So yeah, I love Matt Wall, well. And also Bear DY as well was judging all day long. And then I said to him, "Can you go and help with the raffle?" Because we were so behind schedule at that point that we just needed to smash that raffle out. And I knew the wife was busy with customers buying stuff from the trade stand. So Bear, big hand to you as well, because you were absolutely awesome too.
Sweet deal. Oh, we need to. This is our ASMR moment. Everybody clap.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Good eye. So what was the total? What did you raise?
So we raised in the end £1,746.47.
Bloody
marvellous. I might have won your soap.
Oh, that's the home of the Beardos thing. Yeah. I meant to tell
so
you guys before I
announced
it. Don't slip in there quick now.
No, I won't. I'll say it now.
I didn't know about that. Hang on.
My guess was 1,800. So I might just be close enough. I might not be.
Yeah, the wife and me have been keeping an eye on it, and we're like, okay, at least it's within the range. If everyone was like $4,000, we'd be like, oh no, it's going to be a huge disappointment.
Just asking for a friend. What was it again? 17.
Exact number. That's it. No, you missed it, Damo. You have to rewind. You got to listen back to the podcast now, mate.
Yeah, that's right.
I think the first guess was like 1396, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's a bit more than that. So I went 1800. Yeah. So
I think we'll see. I think what bumped it up for us was we've been selling merch, so t-shirts. We've been doing 3 different kinds of t-shirts. We've been doing the beard oil for the event. We've been doing the beer soap, and we've been doing a pin badge, and all the profits from those have been going to charity. And we released the t-shirts were released weeks ago. So I know for a fact about 400 or 500 of that is from those sales. So that's why it's managed to bump up. So I'm not sure what we're going to do next year, because we probably can't sell the same T-shirt again next year to the same people unless they grow out of it.
Just stick 2023 on it. Boom.
Oh, done. Yeah, exactly. Okay. And then how did the beer sales go down? Because obviously you had your own collaboration limited edition.
Oh yeah,
gluten-free pale ales.
There he is.
Yeah, caught me with one of those.
People listening can't hear, but it's a beer. So, so I don't know, in honesty. So they told me beforehand that they were going to can about 300 of them and get about 300 labels made. But so they had them all stacked up on the beer tent at one point, and when I walked past, basically when I walked past all day, they weren't there. I only saw it watching back on, I think it was somebody's, it might have been yours, Dame, or Matt's Wall's walkthrough, that they were all stacked there. So I reckon they sold out of them pretty sharpish, to be fair.
Well, I think I contributed to about 2% of the consummation of that. So
no, it was brilliant. I've managed to bag a couple of cans because they said to me, "Oh, you're not drinking?" I said, "No, I've got to drive the van back with all the stuff." He said, "Okay, we'll sort you out a bunch of cans." So I think they give me about 8 cans or something like that. So I've got those to enjoy. But now I'm like, oh, do I make soap out of them or do I drink them?
Peel the labels off as well and put it somewhere, because I think you should be able to peel the labels off, right, and keep it, because that's like
I think so, but I think it's one of those labels where when you peel it off, it sort of ruins.
To be fair, a couple
of
people kept the cans or kept full ones as memorabilia. I know John Paul Walker said he's going to keep some. I bought a couple for some of the DBFC lads that had won it on Demo Post a week before, so they've gone. And I'm suddenly like, oh shit, I haven't got one. And
I think what I might do, I might just pierce a hole in the bottom of it and then drain it out, and then I've still got it sealed, but it would be empty, because the last thing you want is on a hot day for it to explode.
I think you need to just get a load more and just sell them and just post them to people. I would buy a crate right now.
I don't know if Dan will know, but I thought last
I
looked,
no, you can't post alcohol.
Royal Mail real funny about that sort of stuff, and also it's coming up to summer, and if you get a bunch of them sat in a hot Royal Mail van, they're going to go bang. So
that's fine. You can use every other royal non-Royal Mail couriers do exist.
I could do, but
obviously,
I'm sure there's a bunch of other legal and insurance stuff for selling beer as well. So it's
technically you can't distribute them, but Loddon Brewery could, for example, because they have a license. So you could do something where you ask them to send it out, or you just go there and take the box and go, "Can I stick a label on that and get it picked up from here?" In terms of legalities, so it's not too difficult, but as long as they're dispatched from Loddon Brewery, could work. I mean, obviously,
it sounds like it's a no from Jamie. I just
I don't want to see them till next year.
No, I mean, look, all I had, I designed the label for the can, but that was all I had to do with it. They made it and canned it and stuff. And if they get asked enough, they're probably like me. If they get asked enough for it, they'll probably do it as a stocked item. But as far as I'm aware, it was just for the competition, because we wanted to build up a sort of, a certain height for the beer. And I'm sure if we get another comp in next year, they'll probably want to do it again. And maybe I'll just tweak the can design so it's a different, sticker 2023
Get them to run a couple of extra label prints, because it might not be the beard, it might not be anyone in your community or these communities, but quite a lot of people do collect beer labels. I've got some from the Northern Monk Patron Estates, because they're all graffiti. They're all done by sort of graffiti artists around the UK and around the world. So I've got like a big stack of beer labels that I collect, and actually having them, because they come off on like big strips, right? That you just literally
that's right. Yeah, just like our Royal ones, I think.
Yeah, so you could just tear them off, and then you can actually. I think it'd be quite nice to stick that in the little next year, little bags of goodies for the winners and stuff. It's all those little extras.
Do you know what? Actually, the brewery did offer to give a can of this for every prize winner, but I completely forgot on the day. Everyone was supposed to be getting one of these.
I'm owed one. one.
I know, right? I got home, and the next day the wife said to me, "Did you give them beers out?" I said, "What do you mean, what beers?" She said, "The beers for the winner." I completely forgot. I was so busy trying to get all the bags sorted out that I just completely forgot about it. They probably run out by that point, to be fair. So I wouldn't have had 30 to give out anyway. But, I didn't have 30 to give out because the kids can't give a beer to a kid, can you? Happy first place, kid. Here you go. Have your first beer.
This will put hairs on your face.
That's it, yeah. So,
so Damo, Jamie said first place, so you wouldn't have got one.
No, he said winners, so that's.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said first place.
I think you're the only one here, Dan, that didn't get a trophy from that event, because even I got the third place mustache.
Well, I'm still waiting for the wooden spoon. I'm holding you to that. I actually want the wooden spoon in the post with a little fourth place on it that just says, well done.
Oh, that's presumptuous, isn't it? That's presumptuous for him, thinking he got fourth.
100%, I definitely got fourth place. Matt Wall said he scored me high. I tried to bribe Brendan, and the other guy was I didn't speak to
Squeaky Steve.
Really. Yeah, Squeaky Steve. I didn't get a chance to sweet talk him, so So I'd like a recount if that's all right.
Yeah, no, I've got the paperwork somewhere around here. I was going to release.
Did you just work? Yeah, I'm going to say, did you just work out a top three and that was it, or did you place everybody and keep?
No, so
like a British.
So what I wanted was I basically writ some sheets down so that once the guys had counted it, they just writ down first, second, third, and who it was. I didn't know any of the scoring on the day.
Yeah,
I didn't know who came fourth, fifth, sixth, or whatever. I just knew who won, who came first, second, and third. I have still got the paperwork, and I was going to post it all online for everybody to see. But I thought to myself,
can't be asked.
Well,
It's done now, isn't it?
Well, that and the fact that it's nice for people to think, oh, I just came fourth, but for the guy who came dead bottom,
Yeah.
it's not nice.
Damn.
So I thought, well, yeah, I've saved you there, Dan. So yeah, I thought to myself, no, I'm not gonna post it because I could post it, but and then there was a couple that were kind of a draw, but then obviously Matt Wall, then head judge, has to decide which one of those two goes up a notch. So it'll just create more aggravation than it needs to be.
I was just really annoyed that I kept on getting wound up by Ollie from Wild Hair because he was like, "How does it feel, Dan?" And I was like, "I'm going to show you how that feels in a minute when I beat you with your trophy." So I was like, I probably won't win because I'm like a rival brand and that. And then Ollie from Wild Hair gets one, and I was like, surely, ref. And then my name didn't get called up. I was there at the front of the stage, like waiting as well for my name to be called out. I'm like,
everybody keeps giving me jip about it. I'm like, listen, man, I'm not even anything to do with the judges. I'm stood 3 feet away, but I'm nothing to do with it. Matt Wall was really like this as well with his paper, like trying to write down like this. I couldn't even see what he was scoring. Like he was kept covering it up, like I was trying to cheat on a test.
These
so
you handcrafted
those
these
for the podcast listeners. Those for the podcast listeners. Damo is just waving his trophy in my face.
You handcrafted these, didn't you, Jamie?
Yeah.
Do you miss them now? They're not at your house.
I've still got a load of that English oak left, actually. So
make Dan one that says last place.
Just shut me up. Even honestly, I will take a trophy that says last place. Just because why not? I mean, how much does it cost? I will send you the money just to send me a wooden spoon. I want something.
I don't know.
Just something, Jamie, please.
I didn't really work out what the trophies. It was around about a tenner, I think, something like that, to put the trophies together, which is a stupid amount because the cost to enter was 15. So it was like, shall I stick one on eBay and then just message everybody? And be like,
yeah,
that's
a great idea, actually.
That'd be a charity one, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What
would you call it though?
For me though, with Dan's name on it.
Call it the eBay Championship or something.
If you feel bad for Dan, buy this for him, and the money will go to charity. And it ends up being £762 because I just keep bidding on it. And then I don't win the soap because then all of a sudden you've got £2,400, mate, raised for charity.
Yeah.
And then it will get lost in the post, so I'll still lose.
No, it shouldn't get lost in the post.
Poor Dan.
They're all right.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's only like the last two competitions.
Hopefully, there's always next year. Hopefully we're ready to do it again. And I'll tell you the problem.
No, we showed the beard off now. I've had enough.
What category were you in?
I was in 8 to 12, but I think I was at the bottom of 8, and I think that was my downfall. I think, but then I keep saying maybe I should have got it trimmed to the 8 and gone into the 4 to 8. But the problem is with 4 to 8, there were some really good beards in that one as well.
That was such a stat. I think there was 19 guys in that category.
Yeah. I think even my odds massive. there would have been tough. And I mean, I was up against Damo for show, obviously,
No, I've spoken to the wife if we were to do another one on how we can possibly split and make that gap. So I think maybe next time, don't quote me on this, but we might do business beard from 5 inches and under, and then do a 4 to 7 or something, and then do an 8 to 12.
Yeah, because 4 inches is like quite a big difference, isn't it? It can make quite a big difference. Like
Depends
I was
how many inches you got at the other end.
Well, that's it. And I think that when you think that that's 10 centimeters, it sounds longer when you say 10 centimeters, but it can make the difference, I think, between
it seems to be like, in terms of the bearding community, that 4 to 8 seems to be the sweet spot. That seems to be what everybody seems to be rocking, just because I guess it's the biggest beard you can have before it starts becoming like really unmanageable, I guess. And a bit of a getting in the way and stuff for people that were working on tools and doing stuff daily. So yeah, but that category just seems to be absolutely stacked. So I might I don't know, I got a couple of ideas. I might throw out a challenge for freestyling, because we struggled a bit on freestyling. We did have 4, but there was one guy that didn't turn up. I still don't honestly know what happened, but he didn't turn up, so we only had 3. So it was a bit of a shame, really.
But I guess it's quite difficult, isn't it? Because if you start catering for every need, you'll have like the 4-inch, 5-inch, 6-inch, 7-inch, 8-inch, you'll be like that. Right, the Opies competition for 2023 is 2 days, 2 days long.
Exactly.
Because
exactly.
I guess you have to cut it at some point, don't you? Otherwise, it just becomes a bit crazy. It's then you'll be tired because you're like, oh god, more trophies as well.
Yeah, I think I definitely don't want to do more categories. I think 10 is probably my maximum. I mean, we threw
the Worlds and the British, they have like 24, 25 categories, and it's long, man. It's such a long day. But even then, like in Antwerp 2019, I was in 30 centimeters. I think it was less than 30 centimeters, and there was like 100 and something plus of us. So they were literally bringing us on in droves, and then you'd stack yourself up, and it was just long, man. It's long.
See, I said this to Brendan a little while back. I said this is what the downfall of the British actually is the fact that obviously you have to have that many categories. But if it were me, I would say, well, look, if we do that many in a day, it won't be fun. You're going to cut the fun element out of it, because it's going to be like, welcome, how are you, where are you from, right, judge. And it's just going to be everybody. It's going to be like herding cattle. So if it were me, I would probably do it over 2 days, and then just be able to have fun for it for 2 days.
Well, the World they do over 2 days, but it's still long. It's still long.
Yeah, in that case, do it over 3. But
so 2023 though, Jamie. So you're gonna do it again? Because I would imagine, I don't know how you'd measure it, but for me, looking at it, I think it's been a massive success for Opies the brand. I mean, obviously you're well established in the community anyway, but putting on your own show that was just for your brand, and bringing everybody together must have been really good. So how what's it like as a brand business owner? Because Facebook and Instagram, that is just full of Opies stuff, so it's got to be a massive win, right?
Yeah, I think we always knew that going into it, that social media wise it was going to be kind of crazy, and that we'd get a lot of interaction and stuff like that off of it, and good exposure. I say, it was. I said to the wife, I've spent so much on going in magazines and stuff over the years, and if I lose that doing an event, I just got to look at it as marketing. So that was my idea going into it. But as for 2023, I really don't know. It's up to the brewery, because obviously it's their venue, so I can't decide whether I'm having event at their venue. I think they've done very well as well.
Yeah, they would have. Yeah,
I would have thought so. Crikey! I mean, I literally I was scrolling. I was looking at Loddon Brewery, looking at all my notifications, and then I realised it was my bank. I was like, oh, these aren't likes and comments. This is my bank statement here: £4.90, £8.20. I was like, oh god. So they definitely did well, because if I spent 100 quid, then and there was 200 people there, they definitely did very well.
Yeah. So I mean, hopefully, but even if it's like, even if they say, let's do it biannually, that'll be all right. Every 2 years, I'm happy with that. Because it gives me a break then.
No,
I think it gives you, no, you're not allowed. According to socials, they want it tomorrow. They want another one next week. So,
do you know what I would love if Opies ever closes, God forbid. I would love to just go around doing like 2 or 3 or 4 events every year, just like unbranded. Just come up with a funny name or something, and just go around, travel the country, and do like 3 or 4 events every year. Because I think that would, that'd be awesome for obviously the community side of it. I think I'd still be able to pinch in a couple of, a little bit of wage off of selling trade stands and sponsors and stuff like that. And I really enjoy, actually. I mean, a lot of stress, when stuff goes wrong, but that's only because I got the other businesses to go in. If I didn't have to run a business and I was just planning an event, easy peasy, water off a duck's back. But when you've got other stuff to do, like when you're halfway through packing like 50 orders, and then it hits the fan, you think, right, I got to sort one of these out, and they both need to be sorted out like now. So it's rock and a hard place kind of thing.
I think with the order side of things, your audience are quite forgiving. So if it does arrive a day late or goes out a day late, and everyone knows you're putting on a Beard and Mustache Championships, then I think they'd forgive you. Because they know you're a busy guy this
I hope
weekend.
so, because I'm supposed to be packing orders right now.
Oh,
Hey, make sure when you've packed them, you take a picture and post it in BeardMail. Start tagging BeardMail. If you've got 50 orders going out, we need to see that. We need to see it.
I always forget. Do you know what? When I'm packing orders, I'm like, if I'm honest, it's the thing I hate most about having a beard company is packing orders. You know, because I do it so personalised with the note in each one, and it takes a long time. So it's the bit I hate the most because it's just so repetitive. So I just when I do it, I just get my head down and just try and get it done as quick as possible. Yeah.
So it's hard. It's hard work, isn't it? Thinking, all this money's coming in, and I've got to pack boxes to get the money. I mean,
well, you've got to do some work now, you bastards.
Yeah, but in the olden days, someone used to hand you a piece of paper that had a queen's head on it and a number. And then you'd be, okay, I'll give you that for that. Whereas now it's all digital. You forget that the money's going in for it.
Straight into the wife's bank balance.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
Have you got BeardMail stickers, Jamie? Do we need to sort you out?
I don't think I've got any BeardMail stickers.
We need to send you 50.
There's a lot.
50 orders all the time.
I'm not going to show you on camera, but the desk that I'm filming on is pretty full up with stuff at a minute. So. I need. Did
you see any of these at your competition? Because Dan was pissed and sticking them on everybody.
I saw him on a couple of nipples.
Yeah, definitely. John Connor had him on his nips. I was very sneaky on some of them. Some people went home with stickers that they didn't realise they had on them in certain places they didn't even know that stickers could reach.
There's usually a bit of sticker carnage at events anyway. I remember. I don't think you weren't there, Dan, but Damo will know. At Let It Grow in Coventry, we stickered the hell out of everything. The toilets had stickers all over them. The urinals had stickers all over them. There was a bollard just in front of the entrance to the brewery thing to stop ram raiders, and that thing got stickered to hell. There wasn't an inch of that didn't have a sticker on it. I'd love to know if they're still on it. You would know, Dan. You would know, Damo. It's right next to the
Dashing Blades. Yeah,
Dashing Blades, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, have a quick look at it. Yeah,
I'll have a little nosy
and stick a BeardMail one in there if there is an inch of space.
Yeah, good thinking.
Even if there isn't, just stick them on because those ones are probably all rained on and faded now.
Stick it over an Opies one. Our ones last forever, so they'll be all right still.
Jamie's got those PVC ones. These aren't going to fade in the sun.
Oh, mate, mine are well dear, but it's worth it. It's worth it. You stick them anywhere.
The longevity.
That's it.
I think with our BeardMail ones though, because they go on a box and then they end up going in the bin, so there's no point really charging loads of money. But the ones because they literally just stick it on.
Yeah. If you give them away enough, then you don't really want to spend mountains of money on it, do you? Because otherwise you look and you think, wow, that's cost me £100 on free stickers this month.
Yeah, exactly that.
It soon adds up, doesn't it?
And yet you're having an argument with the wife on whether you can afford to get a Domino's this week. It's like, okay, it's nuts, isn't it?
Sorry, love. We won't be eating this week. I just have to get stickers.
Yeah, give them out to people for nothing.
Did you have to get the die cut ones? Well, yeah.
They're the best.
Actually.
Everyone loves the die cut. Not to mention,
exactly.
I'm not cutting them all over reel myself. We've got time to do all
that.
I
don't know if you saw the ones I did with the BeardMail ones because I didn't realise they came on a bloody sheet of A4 and there's like 24 on each page. So there's me. I posted the video. I think like me just literally with a bloody one of them old
rookie mistake, like a happy little Santa's elf.
Literally, like it took me. It must have been half an hour because we had like something like 288 stickers or something, and like you had to get them perfect as well because they were literally like next to each other with like 2 mil, not even like 2 millimeter gap between each one.
That's when I value my time a lot more than my money. So I just throw an extra 20 at it and get them all die cut or something.
Oh, I think the problem is I didn't realise what I was buying, and they came within 3 days because it was literally. I was on the Monday. I was like, shit, Damon, we need some stickers. So I ordered them on a Monday, and I got them on like a Thursday, and I was like that, like heartbroken. I was like, well, I haven't got time to order anything else at this phase. And they were literally just to give away at the event. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I wasn't going to spend sort of 60, 70 quid on those. So
yeah.
For those guys listening or watching right now who don't know what the hell Dan and Jamie are going on about stickers, stickering in the beardy world. It's like a big thing in it. It's like, I think we're all from an age where you'd collect stickers and football cards and stuff when you were a kid. But nowadays, when you go to a beard competition, or if you're ever involved in bearding, it's a thing. Everybody or lots of people have got stickers of themselves as caricatures or even just photos of themselves on a little sticker, and it becomes a trading thing. And I took a box of mine and I picked up loads of different ones, and it's like, it's really weird, grown men trading stickers, but that's what they do. Is what they do. So if you do want to get into bearding, if you do want to get into go into a competition, if you've enjoyed what you listened to today and thought this sounds like a pretty good gig, then definitely look at getting yourself some stickers, because there's hundreds to collect out there.
It's a good icebreaker as well. If you are turning up and you've got some stickers made of like your name or your a character of yourself, it's a good little icebreaker to just say to someone, "Oh, do you want a sticker?" Yeah. Nobody's going to say no. Nobody's going to say, "Oh no, I don't want a sticker." They all want a sticker. Yeah. So it's a good little icebreaker.
I need to get some of mine, because I got my profile picture on the socials is obviously one of those lovely caricature cartoons from Michael Hughes, and I need to kind of get some of those put on stickers. Get it stickified, right? Because it's a really cool picture, actually. So
it's a really cool bribe to give to the. In fact, this was interesting at your competition, Jamie. Normally, you go up and you bribe them with stickers. Yeah. This time you went up to and they gave you stickers. I'm like, this is weird.
That threw me. That totally threw me, because I said to Matt,
going to do that. Like the first person went up, they were like a sticker bombing this dude, Mark East, and I was like, this is going to take a long time if you guys do that every time. So, but if they want to give stickers out, it saves me giving stickers out, because I had a load in my back pocket for pretty much most of the day and forgot to give them out. I think I gave you.
I got them.
Yeah, I gave you about 40 of the 50, I think, Damo, and then
nice.
The rest of them I would just sort of I think I still had 8 in my pocket at the end of the day. I always do that now, because now I don't need an icebreaker now. So when I do take stickers everywhere, I just don't end up giving them out. It's just crazy.
Well, now I know yours are the expensive die cut ones. I might sell them.
Not those ones, not the event ones. No, yeah, I didn't pay extra for the. They're good. They're still quality. Don't get me wrong.
Look at that. Look at that. Cool.
But they're not tried and tested against all weathers, so I don't know how they'd fare. But yeah,
they are cool. I do like the design for this for the championships.
Yeah, I think it works well on
that threw me.
Stuff.
That threw me with the stickers, though, because I was about getting ready to give them stickers. And they're like, "Want some stickers?" And I said to Matt, I think I said to Matt Walks, apparently Damo said that's his thing, right? He'd give a sticker out to the judge, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? I'm supposed to give you stickers to bribe you, and you've bribed me, and I still lost.
Yeah, do you know what? I went into it thinking that we'll set the judges' table out. And when I set it up, they each had a clipboard and a pen, and there was a beer nicely sat like American Idol style at the edge of their desk. And I thought, oh, doesn't that look neat? And then 2 minutes later, I look at the judges sat there. The desk was a mess. It just had stickers all over it, half peeled off. There were bits of paper everywhere. Just you name it, it was on that table. It was crazy.
Didn't Dan Silky Brown take food? Dan Silky Brown took food up for him as well. There was food on there and all sorts, wasn't there?
Yep, we had Carla as well. Carla Perrin had Milky Bars in her creative beard. So we each had to pull a Milky Bar out of her beard, which melted pretty quickly, because the Bill children came up on stage after the break, and they were like, "Oh, can I have this?" And it was like a wafer thin Milky Bar where it had been crushed. One of them obviously picked it up and didn't know the integrity was failing. So I said, "You can have it if you like," but I said, "You'll have to drink it, not eat it." It's like that melted.
There's a good video somewhere on Facebook now of getting laughed at and ridiculed of Dan Silky Brown feeding me a fudge bar.
I haven't seen it, Dan. Where is it available?
So I won't want to spoil it too much, but basically the idea is that I closed my eyes, he fed me chocolate, but he put it in his own mouth. So I'm there with my mouth open like that, waiting for this chocolate to come in. And then he puts it in his own mouth, and I'm like, "You bastard, I wanted to eat that." It's quite funny.
The way you've just described that, it sounded like some terrible 2 girls and 1 cup thing.
That's
like
right,
the chocolate was
it
in
could have been. It could have been. I mean, I trusted the man. I trusted him. He said, "Look, I've got the fudge." He said, "I packed enough."
I'd have stuck a sticker in your mouth if that had been me.
But
I'd have stuck a
beer in my mouth. You'd have put a beer in my mouth, wouldn't you? Yeah. But I think it's on Facebook now. It's been shared into various Home of the Beardos, and it has been shared. And there's lots of people laughing at it, and I don't know
No,
why I closed my
I
eyes.
think there's been quite a few funny images going around. There was one from Nathan. I can't remember his surname. I think it's Stewart, Nathan Stewart, and he's got his mouth open like, and there's various different funny comments about what he's singing and stuff like that. There was a meme going around about Matt Wall was pointing at Dan Silky Brown, so it was like a caption contest because it looked like he was giving him a right telling off. So yeah, there's been some hilarious stuff, and then obviously Dan Silky Brown losing Blake's keys towards the end. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
Yeah, no, I heard that he lost something, but he didn't say what it was. So what's he done? Lost Blake's?
Yeah. So I was at the trade stand just sort of packing up, and somebody came up to me and goes, "Oh, I got some keys that are lost," and I got them, and it straight away looked at me right in the face. It was like Whitaker's Brewery. I was like, "Oh, I know these are. They're Blake's." So I said, "That's fine." I said, "Leave them with me." I thought Blake's going to circle round in a minute. And then he didn't circle around. I said to Brendan, if you see Blake, tell him I got his keys. And then anyway, about 20 minutes later, Blake comes round to me and he goes, I heard you got my keys. So I gave him to him and he's like, oh, Dan Silky Brown lost my keys like 20 minutes ago. He wanted to put something in my truck. So I gave him my keys. And then when I came up to him and said, have you got my keys, Dan? He was like, what? So he had no recollection of even having these keys. So Blake was obviously, because he's got a nice truck too, so he was sort of a bit panicky. So they were going round and round and round, and didn't obviously think to ask me. So, but I didn't know that Dan had lost them. I thought Blake may have just lost them and not known. So I didn't know they were looking for them.
I want to know what Dan was putting in his truck. Was it a fudge?
I think it was
on the dashboard or on the front.
I think it was his. I think it was his vest thing, the jacket with all the badges and stuff on. Because I'm betting that they get pretty hot in the daytime in the sun, wearing with all the patches and all that stuff on them. So yeah, that was the story of Dan losing Blake's keys. But apart from that, I can't really think of anything else going awry. Apart from Dan had an incident in the evening, but I don't know if we're allowed to talk about that on a BeardMail podcast.
I didn't have any incident, man. I was sat there with you. I was avoiding that whole mess that happened on the table. So basically, I think you'd gone by this point, but some really weird bird turned up and was basically trying to talk to everyone on the table.
I've heard this story.
And I obviously, look, I mean, like, I'm married, children. I left the situation before it got awkward for anywhere because she was almost circling around the table, and I was like, right, I'm going to leave now before she even gets anywhere near me. That's when I came and sat with you at the end of the night, Jamie. And yeah, she was like, yeah, let's go to Medusa's. I'm like, Jamie, what's Medusa's? And she's like, yeah, it's a strip club. I'm like, it's definitely not going to any strip club. I am going home and I'm going to bed. I am so battered. But yeah, I think we can't talk too much about it because obviously, I think what she was expecting to walk away from the situation was her husband was also with her, right? And it was a bit
was he?
Question. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought she was single.
I've heard the story, and this involved. I can't believe you all turned her down, but I understand there was an offer on the table that everybody said no to, and it would have involved the husband watching while everyone else was, doing stuff.
Oh, okay.
But Dan, I love after the podcast. The podcast. No, I wanted to just go home. I went, you're home. Dan, you got back to your hotel about 11:30 and phoned me and said, Damo, I want to go out. I want to go out, Damo. Shall I go out? I'm going to go out.
Have you heard of this place called Medusa's?
No, so I think so for me, but realistically, I think that I was so I was still so hyper from the day, buzzing, been a great day, and you don't want it to end, do you? You kind of think you're with a load of kind of mates that you've made, and I didn't want to go to Medusa's. That wasn't where I wanted to go, but I was quite keen on carrying on having another drink somewhere. But fortunately, I did go home and I did go to bed because it was probably the better move because I felt horrific the next day as it was. If I'd have carried on drinking, it's bad enough there was a bottle of gin in my room. Like
I could have and possibly should have tucked you up there and said, "Oh, no, Medusa's is this adult soft play. Yeah, it's brilliant." And then Dan walks in, he's like, "Where's the soft play? That pole looks pretty hard to me."
you probably would have convinced me if you said it was like a really nice craft beer, like gentleman's craft beer in the middle of Reading, jazz vibe going on.
I think I didn't have time because I was like, you asked me what it was, and my brain was like, I've heard of that. Where is that? I've seen the signage because it's in a place of Reading where you drive past all the time, and it's been renamed hundreds of times. And then it just suddenly popped into my head, so I didn't really have time to. But it was funny though, because you didn't know what it was, and it was like, oh yes, possibly the worst thing you could
I
go
just said to her, I was like, I just said, if you can convince John Connor, I'll come. And knowing full well that there was no way that she was going to convince John Connor to go anywhere, because I kept going, come on, John, let's go out, let's go for a drink. You know,
I don't think he would have fit the. I don't think he would have fit the dress code.
No, exactly.
He might have got some money in there though.
That's exactly it. So I kind of just knew full well. I was like, look, if fair play, if you can convince that guy right there, sat out there, then I'll come along as well. And that was when she kind of stormed off out of the bar area, and I was just like, oh, Jamie, Jesus.
Oh, I'd had a gutful by then. I was just ready for a sit down and just a bit of peace and quiet. So I was like,
I bet.
I was like, what did I say to you? I said, right, 2 questions, Dan. Who the hell is that? And then that was the only question I could ask you. Oh, I don't know.
The second question was, do you want to go for it?
Yeah, she just turned up out of the blue and started plaiting. I forget the guy's name now, but it's the guy who was with Lewis from Viking.
Matt.
I think is that Matt. His brother? Was it his
Matt,
brother?
No, it's just his mate, Matt.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So she started plaiting his hair, and then she was like, do you want me to plait your hair? And I was like, no, I don't. Like, I really don't want you to plait my hair. Like, but thanks for the offer, but like, seriously.
Oh dear. No, I don't know.
All fun and frolics at the Loddon Brewery.
It was fun. It was a funny night, and it was one of those that I kind of forgot and hoped I'd forget about that section of the
good old after party. I'll tell you what though, I was really pleased with because the other worry that I had was that obviously we did the sort of after party after the event, and the big worry was that everybody would just, because usually at beard comps they're finished, everyone goes home, like the event, the venue shuts sometimes. When the thing's done. So I was like, it's a bit ballsy to say we're going to do like an after party, because there's no guarantee that people would stay about, especially because the food vendor was doing burgers all day long, and I didn't know if people would want a burger for lunch and then a burger for dinner.
I had 2 burgers, one for lunch and one for tea.
Yeah, I only had
2 packets of biltong.
Yeah, I literally ate a Milky Way out of Carla's beard, and then a burger. That was all I had all day long. So it was. And a party.
I had 2 packets of biltong.
Yeah,
I had a party ring, 2 packs of biltong and a Jaffa donut. I was too scared to eat a burger because I wanted to win a competition. So I didn't eat myself like anorexic. So I had I had 2 packs of biltong from the bar because I could place that in my mouth without making a mess.
Okay, yeah.
And several pints
through the tunnel.
Don't get Dan started talking about food, Jamie. You were saying the after party.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I was really pleased with the amount of people that stayed around for the after party, because I thought everyone would just be like, right, that's finished, let's go. But I think it helped because a lot of people were staying over the night, so they were like, oh, it doesn't. If I get a taxi back from here now, I've got to get a taxi back anyway. So it's like, I may as well just stay. So I'm
very surprised. Reading's like quite a big town. Is it a city or is it a town?
No, we haven't got a cathedral, so they can't make.
So it is a town.
This is the weird thing. Yeah, you have to have a cathedral to be a city. Apparently,
well, you say that they've just upgraded a load of people, haven't they? So Reading and Milton Keynes, they were new towns back in the day, and they were built purposefully. But they just made Milton Keynes a city, actually.
Have they?
And Cambridge is a city,
and Wrexham or somewhere.
They literally got a massive cathedral, isn't it?
Cambridge, no. It's got a massive Catholic church, but not a cathedral. Ely's got a cathedral.
Back in the day, that
Ely's
was right.
Ely's a town, yeah.
Oh.
That was the definition of a city, to become a citadel from the word cathedral. But I was blown away by how difficult it was to get a taxi. Like, I'm on the Uber app, right? I'm at the hotel, and I'm on Uber, and there's like one car. Like, I know even you said they're not supposed to be, right? So I think someone had obviously got a bit lost. There was one. I'm watching this one car, like, booking your taxi, confirming your ride, and I'm like, there is one Uber in the whole of Reading. Surely something's wrong.
The funny thing is, right? Dan, is the door to the bar had a list of phone numbers for taxis on it.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. So the bar that you were going in and out of all day long, the door of that had a list.
I didn't look at the door. The door was always open. Like, I didn't need to, if they closed the door and I had to open the door every time to get a drink.
No, to be fair, actually, that was one of the things on my list that I forgot to read out on stage, because obviously that was
when you need a cab. look at the
Maybe
door
that's
you're
why
walking
everybody
through.
stayed, because they didn't know how to get home. So
Couldn't
it's
get
I think
like,
that's what it was. I think I was too scared to like,
Stranded.
Has anyone actually got a taxi? And then I got to that point. You don't actually
Hitchhiking.
realise. Hang on a minute. I've got a phone with like search engines on there, right? I probably could have just Googled one if I had to.
Yeah.
That didn't even cross my
I was
mind.
going to say,
And
usually
then-
the people, you don't usually get the people hitchhiking that look like us. They're usually the ones that pick them up, the creepy people that say, yeah, get in.
Yeah. Well, fancy a bit of role reversal tonight.
Boys, you've all missed out, because John Connor actually, he was in a hotel in Reading. He actually decided he was going to walk to the brewery, and he looked and it was like,
know.
an hour to walk, and he got like 40 minutes in or something, and then a postman picked him up and brought him to the venue.
He asked me, he said, how long do you reckon it will take to walk there? I was like, I reckon about 45 minutes if you're a pretty speedy walker. I'm like, but I wouldn't recommend it, John, because most of it's like down country roads. I said I wouldn't recommend that, especially like to walk there, because you're going to get like pretty damn sweaty even in your dress. But he went for it. I reckon that's your fault, Damo, for running to all these places and stuff.
It was like, I'll try and keep up with Damo by walking from Reading to Loddon Brewery. See how that
That's
goes
the one.
first before I commit to Germany.
I think I know why no one went anywhere else afterwards, and I think it's because mostly the only place that anyone was talking about was Purple Turtle. And then obviously this Medusa's place. So I think if they were the only places on the cards, that's why everybody stayed where they were, because it was like, well, if I've got the Purple Turtle or Medusa's, I'll stay here. Thank you very much.
Yeah. No, if you're in Reading, the Purple Turtle's a good one to go to. But if you're at Loddon Brewery, if you're at Loddon Brewery, you don't leave there to go to the Turtle. You stay at Loddon as long as you can. Yeah.
Super
Especially
duper. Gentlemen, we have gone way over for a podcast, but it's been delightful.
It's been great.
Is there anything in closing that you would like to mention, Jamie? Obviously on the day, you've done all your thank yous and that. Everybody was great, the judges, the crowd, the charity, the brewery, and all that. But anything else you want to say in closing?
Yeah, just come and give the page a like. I think we've only got like 200 likes, which is crazy because we had about 300 people come in and out through the day. So we got, not everyone that came has liked the page. So just like the page, because that's where all the information and the pictures. Like I've been posting tons of pictures from the event.
So is that the Opies Beard competition Facebook page?
Opies Beard Beard and Mustache Championships Facebook page.
Got you.
Yeah.
So you keep that page running for every year, and you put all the details in there.
So what I decided to do was keep it separate from the Opies Beard page, because I didn't want to spam my business page with event stuff.
Yeah.
So I've kept them separate, and also it's easier for me, like admin wise, to be able to just go, actually, do you know what? I want to be able to post about Opies, but I also want to post about the event, so I don't want to smash two things out. So I've decided to keep them separate. So just give that one a like. And just check out the page, and I've still got tons of images that I'm going to post up. I'm going to post some more in a little bit, all the on stage stuff, so give that a check out, because there's some pretty awesome pictures from the day.
Sweet.
But keep your ear to the ground for 2023. Like I say, I'm not sure if we're going to do one, but hopefully.
Yes.
Well, I'll be booking in, definitely, if you book in for May, because it was great fun, so I'll definitely attend.
If we do, I think I'm going to do a pre-party. Yeah. If we do, I think I'll do a pre-party as well, because Loddon's open the night before till 9, I think. So I think that would work well for a pre-party, because a lot of people, I think,
after party at Medusa's.
I'm not going anywhere that's going to get me in trouble. Like, even if it's an innocent outing to a strip club, I can't. Look, we're famous guys. I can't afford to have my beard all up on the paparazzi walking into Medusa's. Dan from Rune Silk frequents. I've only been there. I've never been there yet. But
and make sure they say Dan from BeardMail, not Dan from Rune Silk.
Dan from BeardMail. That'll get all of the likes. And no, I think I'll be booking. I'll be probably one of the first people to book.
Thank you very much. Yeah, well, like I say, we'll keep you all posted. But thank you very much, everyone, and thanks for everyone that came. It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. That's Jamie Cox from Opies and the Opies Beard and Moustache Championships. Thanks, Jamie. Bye for now. How about that, Dan? We had a guest on. The sound was good. The Wi-Fi was good. The visuals were good. The chat was good. We're getting good at this BeardMail, aren't we?
Not bad, not bad. That was good. No, really good. And I think it was the perfect timing to have Jamie on, especially. I know this is going to get released a little bit late, but hopefully it will keep the traction going as well for him. Once the social posting starts to quieten down a bit, which it will, with it will start to plateau and come down as people start thinking about the rest of the comps coming up, and hopefully it will just give him a nice bit of momentum to carry on some of the promotion. Like Jamie said, please do go over to his Beard and Mustache Championship Facebook page, give that a little like, and see what it was like to be there. Hopefully you'll get excited enough to buy the ticket for 2023, because it was awesome.
It was. So let's wrap it up and send everybody out. Thanks very much for listening, and we will see you all on another BeardMail podcast when we see you. Bye bye for now.
Shaboy. Thanks for listening, guys. Take care.
See you in a bit. Bye for now.